Hi, this is Malini. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to make your own pumpkin succulent centerpiece. So you can start off with actual these gourds. These are actually living ones, and they have different kinds of designs. This is an orange one. This one has some stripes in it. These are actually plastic, so you can actually use plastic ones as well. So you want to start off with a glue gun. Now I use this glue gun, which actually is a mini glue gun, and it has a dual temperature. Okay, so there's a high temperature and a low temperature, and I often get burn using hot glue, so I got one that has two temperatures. I'm going to use, here's is the high, and I just switch it over to the right, and that is a low temperature. And I bought these low temperature glue sticks. Okay, so you want to get your tools ready. You want to get your pumpkins, your glue gun, your glue sticks, and you want to also use a tweezer. Now this is helpful when you don't want to get stuck with putting let's say a cutting, and then you have hot glue and you want to like insert it like on the side. So you can use this to help you and guide you to place the cutting around the pumpkin. You also need succulent cuttings, and I have an assorted cuttings here from my garden. So they're all very colorful cuttings here. And then the last thing you need is moss, and this moss comes in different kinds of colors. I chose using this green moss. They come in orange and daisy rose and even in blue, and this one says mango, but I'm going to use this traditional green moss, and that forms sort of the base for the succulents. Okay, so let's take a little bit of moss, and that's what it looks like here. So it's kind of really bright green moss. And then we're going to, you just basically, you place it on top, but let's add some glue. So let's put our glue stick in first. Just make sure this has already been heated, so it's already ready to go. And you just kind of press it down using your finger, just kind of press it around, and you have to kind of work fast, but if not, don't worry, you can start over again. I'm just doing a really quick demo for you to show you how to make your own succulent centerpiece. Okay, so we're just going to add some moss here, and just be really careful with the hot glue. Even on a low temperature, you can still burn yourself. Okay, so this again just shows you, just put a little bit of moss on the bottom to give you that base. You might need a little bit more glue here. Again, you can always gauge it and see what you need. Here, I'm just going to add a little bit more moss. Okay. Next, I'm going to add my one of my cute little succulent center here. This is like the center. This is where you want to build around it. Just like you're making a succulent container garden, you apply that same method for making a succulent pumpkin centerpiece. So let's add this right in the center, right where that you see that stem is. But you won't see that stem because we're going to cover that with this succulent cutting. And I already made it ready to go, where I can just add my hot glue right on top of the succulent, or you can put it right on the base of the right on the bottom of this moss here, or on top of the pumpkin. Either way it will work. Okay, so you press it down very carefully. Now just remember, succulent centerpieces, these are not meant to last. This is purely decorative. Let's say you have an event and you want to decorate, let's say, your Thanksgiving table. You could put that and decorate it for that night or for that week, and it'll still last. And I'll tell you how to take care of it after we actually make our succulent centerpiece. So here's some really pretty cuttings here. I'm going to show you all the different cuttings that I can use. And sometimes you might need to actually cut it again, and that's fine. Okay, Okay, so you can also cut it just to make it kind of fit, because you want to put that at the edge. See? Put that right at the edge. Then you can, again, you can add your hot glue here, or you can just put it at the side. Here I'm putting it at the side of this cutting. And carefully insert it. Now I'm gonna guide it with my tweezer if I need to. This one I might not have to. For like smaller cuttings, I actually might need to use that. For example, like this one here, it's very thin, so I might use it to, I'll show you how to, you can actually use the tweezer to insert it. And this is usually like a little filler, okay? So let's keep building around this. And then again, you can always cut the cutting and then insert it after you put the hot glue, insert it where you need, where you think it looks pretty, okay? So these are really fun to do with your kids, and always be there to guide them and supervise them when they're using the hot glue. And these are really fun family activities that you can have, these lasting traditions, and you can do these with your family members, with your kids, and these are really fun gifts as well. Okay, so I'm gonna keep building my succulent centerpiece. I'm gonna add this. I usually put this around larger succulents, even put it at the end here. Again, there's no right or wrong way to do this. Just have fun building your succulent centerpiece. And look what I just did there. I actually just inserted that. There's plenty of glue there, and it's tiny. It will still stick without using any hot glue. So that's one way to do it. You might not have to use hot glue. Let me see if I can do that again on this side. If not, we can simply add some more glue to kind of make sure it's secure. So this one actually needs just a tiny little bit of glue to make sure it sticks. And so you have already a succulent centerpiece looking really nice and fresh and beautiful looking. We're gonna still keep building around it to make it a little more full. We have a lot more cuttings that we can use. And here's a lot of pretty, these are sedum, and this is a ghost mat. And as you notice, there's a lot of pink here. This is caused by the sun, and I wanted lots of color for this really pretty succulent centerpiece. Here, I'm able to stick that in there, but I really want to make sure it's secure, so I just put a tiny bit of hot glue. Now, the glue does not hurt the plant. They can actually stay rooted in this moss and pumice, so this is not going to hurt the plant at all. Just a little bit more. These are really pretty. I love these. These have so much color, and they really can brighten your Thanksgiving table, or you can put it outside in the front porch or in your patio, and that would be a nice sort of unconventional way to decorate for the fall and the holidays. Now, if it doesn't work right away, don't worry. You can always start again. Just have to work really fast with hot glue. And this one, I might use my tweezer because I see a lot of hot glue in there, and I don't want to get burned. So I'm going to see if this will fit here. Another thing about the moss is it does help with not just providing a nice decorative piece and decoration, but it helps cover some of the mistakes that you might have. So you can do that at the end. You can add more moss around the sides here, but you also can cover some of your mistakes that you don't want people to see. Now this is a really pretty one. This is a type of calico. Like there's a little bit of variation in there. So this is, I'm going to see how that looks. Sometimes you have to kind of take a look and see. That's a really pretty. I actually never really used this for a pumpkin centerpiece, but I like how that looks as well. So let's put that there to kind of give it a nice little base for it, a nice little height as well. So I'm running out of my hot glue. This goes pretty fast. So you want to just simply insert the hot glue there. And then all you need to do is just kind of press it gently here, this little lever here, and it comes out really well. Now, as you see here, sorry, that's not enough glue. Let's add a little bit more glue. Secure it using your tweezers. And I'm going to add a little more moss here. Okay, like I said, it helps cover mistakes. It gives this a nice little base. It secures it. So I can keep adding more moss around it, and then that will be complete. I can keep just putting moss and not any more cuttings, and use those for another project. So all you do is just kind of take this moss here and just kind of tuck it in there, right? But before you do that, add some glue around it. And you don't need to make it perfect. You want it to look as natural as possible. So just kind of just add some hot glue and just kind of sort of gently place the moss around it. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You could just kind of make it a little bit loose, because that makes a little bit more natural look. See how really pretty that looks, already nice and full. And this can take you less than 30 minutes to make. And you can make many of them for your centerpiece on your Thanksgiving table, or you can give this as gifts for teachers, for family and friends. Now, just clean this up a little bit here. So that gives you one idea. I'm not going to make all the pumpkins. I just want to give you an idea that you can use different kinds of pumpkins, different designs. You can apply the same method and use a larger pumpkin. Now, to care for this, I would put it, this can be indoors. It doesn't have to be in your window since it is temporary, but you can put it in your window if you like and spray it. You don't want to water, you just use a spray bottle and just kind of mist it and spray that at least once a week. And if it's outside, you need to spray just a little bit more because of the heat. You can put it outdoors, preferably where it gets some shade, and then spray it about twice a week. And this again will last through this pumpkin alone. I imagine this at least lasting for probably about a month. It can actually last a month like this, as long as it gets plenty of good air circulation, some light, and occasional misting, just kind of spraying. You don't want to pour water over it. You want to just use a spray bottle and just sort of mist it around to keep it nice and fresh. Well, thank you for watching. See you again soon.